The real thing they have to overcome, this question that everyone's asking, was what was her biggest accomplishment as Secretary of State? And, you know, I just see flailing on this question. From her own supporters, I don't see any good answer, or at least a solid, strong answer.
What do you think her greatest accomplishment as Secretary of State was?
Oh, my goodness. In particular, I honestly don't know to answer your question.
That's all right.
Now, when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, what do you think her main accomplishment was?
I thought that having that
staying even keel to negotiate.
Negotiate what?
I have to remember that far?
It's hard to say. Hard to say.
You know, you can't point to any one because there haven't been any in the last 20 years, period.
I think I really can't answer that. I'm not sure.
What do you think is her greatest achievement as Secretary of State?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's a tough question. I don't know. I really don't know.
Definitely not the Benghazi ordeal.
Don't say
right?
Whoa. I have no clue.
What do you think is her greatest achievement as Secretary of State?
Well, she didn't have that many before she gave up that role.
You certainly did take a lot of fire from the Republicans at the CNN debate last night. I assume you watched it, especially from the lone female candidate up on the stage, Carly Fiorina. She said if you want to stump a Democrat, she said, ask them about Hillary Clinton's accomplishments as Secretary of State.
We were misled that there were supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Another DIA memo from 2012 predicts the rise of ISIS and the establishment of a caliphate 17 months before the president called the terror group the JV Team. Another DIA memo dated October 5, 2012 leaves no doubt that U.S. intelligence agencies were clearly aware that lethal weapons were being shipped to Syria via the port of Benghazi. In a recent interview with Bret Baier, the former acting CIA director skirted the topic.
Were CIA officers tracking the movement of weapons from Libya to Syria?
Can't talk about that.
Can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
Even if they weren't moving the weapons themselves, are you saying categorically that the U.S. government and the CIA played no role whatsoever in the movement of weapons from Libya to Syria?
Yes, we played no role. Now, whether we were watching other people do it, I can't talk about it.
The DIA memo also reported that military stockpiles were moving from Benghazi to the Syrian ports of Banias and Bor Islam, and the shipments included rifles, RPGs, and missiles. This DIA document may also be problematic for Mrs. Clinton, who also skirted the weapons issue during her only congressional testimony on Benghazi.
Secretary Clinton, any takeaways from your briefing on Iran?
It was an excellent briefing. Thank you.
Did they assuage any of the concerns you have?
Here we are.
Thomas, I also asked Secretary Clinton a number of times today if she supports the deal. I know, no answer there.
Yeah, just keep walking, keep smiling, keep walking, keep smiling.
Exactly. Got a similar response when I asked her if she actually supports the deal. I asked her that question several times today. She wouldn't answer that question.
We're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business.
I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can.
I'm not, you know, I have no idea. That's why we turned it over.
You were in charge of it. You were the official in charge. Did you wipe the server?
What, like with a cloth or something?
I don't know.
Well,
you
no.
know how it works digitally. Did you try to wipe the whole server?
I don't know how it works digitally at all. Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?